This is the Schmo with the pro, with the former cruiserweight title challenger, the boxing analyst, the boxing coach, Team Jake Paul's, BJ Flores, in the flesh, the Casa, Bryce Cleveland, Phoenix, Arizona. How we doing?
Good, man. A beautiful, beautiful day today. A beautiful Friday, heading into a great weekend, and I'm excited. A lot of good things. Coming up in the next 6 months.
Hey, when you hit up the Schmo that you're back in town, the Schmo's in town, we had no idea we'd be poolside. We'd be in paradise doing an interview.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. My boy Bryce has got this house, and it's a great place to to do interviews. So you're invited over anytime, baby. Anytime.
We appreciate that, man. There's a lot going on in the fight game, but the first place the Schmo's going to ask you is being involved with Team Paul for the past 4 years. We just had a press conference. Nate Diaz, Jake Paul over there in Dallas, Texas. What'd you make of the press conference, BJ?
No, it was good. I mean, it was exactly how I thought. You see Jake maturing. You see Jake, really calming down and coming into his own as a man and really just talking very calmly and saying what he wants to do and putting it out there and using that, his manifestations and doing exactly what he's always done. He said he was going to do it, and he did it, and he's going to keep doing that. So I saw a very calm, a very collected Jake Paul up there at the podium, and you know how Nate's going to come. Nate's very tough. He's a dog. He's a very determined athlete, and he doesn't think Jake's on his level, but he's going to be surprised.
Was that the Nate Diaz you expected, though? There wasn't much trash talking going back and forth. And by the way, can't be smoking weed over there in Texas. They're going to be drug testing for that.
Yeah, I heard about that. And, I think Nate's the type of athlete, though, he can suck it up for, a couple months and, take that out. Obviously, he's a warrior. He's a savage. He's a very, you can't get to where he's gotten in the UFC without having some very good discipline. So he's one of those guys who you bring in, and he's going to make the sacrifices in order to get to the finish line. And he's going to be in shape, and he's going to come hard. And I just think that, Jake's just too big, too strong, too fast. And he's a better boxer than people are giving him credit for. So I think he's going to open a lot of eyes on August 5th.
So Jake Paul is coming off his first professional loss over there in Abu Dhabi, or is it Dubai? That's where it was. It was over in Saudi Arabia. It was the Middle East. Riyadh was his first loss. It was Tommy Fury. So what do you think went wrong?
I think you could say a million things, but I think the main thing is moving forward, Jake knows he needed to make some adjustments, and he knows that, he's only got 7 fights. I mean, he's coming up. There was a lot of situations over there in Dubai where we're training, in Saudi Arabia where maybe we didn't have the best camp. He knows he could have done a lot of things differently, and he's made some adjustments, and he's moving forward. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing Jake, the determined Jake that I saw at the press conference the other day, and the kid that I've known for 4 years, that he's going to go back to the drawing board. And he's going to make some adjustments, and he's going to do what he's got to do, because he's very determined right now. I think he's mentally in a very good place, and I think he's ready to prove a lot of doubters wrong.
Nate Diaz is an opponent. How does this different from the other MMA fighters, the Anderson Silvas, the Tyron Woodleys?
I mean, he's a southpaw. He's a very aggressive guy. He's going to come forward. But the problem with that is he's going to be there to get hit. So he's going to come in and be aggressive with Jake, and it's going to make a lot of openings for Jake to find him. Jake struggles a little more with guys who are staying away, boxing, more styles like Tommy. But when guys come at Jake, he's able to put his offense into play, and it's a dangerous offense. So, but yeah, full respect to Nate. This is a very tough fight for both guys. I think Nate knows that, and I don't think Nate's taking Jake lightly, and I know Jake's not taking Nate lightly. So it's going to be a great performance.
So you've been a part of this team for 4 years. How's your role evolved to where it is today?
Yeah, so Jake, after the last fight, we made some changes on the team, and I got shot in the leg in Colombia, and I'm going to be doing some consulting. I'll always be a part of Team Jake Paul. I'll always help out in any possible way, and me and Jake are always going to be family. So that's all there is to it. There's nobody more proud of him than me, because I've been the one who's been there the entire time to really watch him evolve, and it's been incredible. So I'm always going to be a part of the team. I'm always going to be a big Jake Paul supporter, because I know how hard the kid works, and I'm just really proud of him.
Well, you're like the Wolverine. The Schmo saw you swimming last night, man. How's the leg doing?
It's doing okay. I'm good, man. Everything's healed up nicely. No more problems. No more stitches. No more bandages and doctor visits anymore. So I'm good. So happy to be alive. Everything's fantastic, and just happy to be here.
Well, your mind in boxing is second to none. We got a big fight coming up this week. Misfits Boxing, KSI Joe Fournier. We know you brought Joe Fournier into camp before. How do you expect this one to play out?
I was actually in camp in Miami with Joe for maybe 3 or 4 days, and it's kind of giving some tidbits and little pointers. And I mean, the guy's got ability. He's definitely got some talent. He's been around the sport a long time. He's an athlete. The question will be if he was able to get in those hard necessary weeks before a tough fight like this. You can't take a guy like KSI lightly. He's very explosive. He's very athletic. He's one of those guys that he doesn't do everything by the book, and people haven't really seen. There's not much footage of KSI recently to watch, so that makes him also very dangerous. So Joe's got to be prepared for those explosive bursts from KSI. He's got to be ready for those, but I think it's going to be a good fight. KSI is obviously a big puncher, but this is by far the best opponent he's ever been in with. The Logan Paul 4 years ago wasn't what Joe is now. Logan now, though, I mean, he's a completely evolved fighter, but I don't think Logan took it as seriously then as he does now. And I think Joe is definitely the best guy that KSI's faced recently, no question about it. So it'll be a good fight.
But all the signs are pointing to an eventual showdown between KSI and Jake Paul. Do you think that that's going to happen next for both these men? Obviously, we can't look past the Nate Diaz. We can't look past Joe Fournier if you're KSI.
That's a decision that Jake and his manager will make. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a fight I know he's wanted for a long time. So to say whether it happens next or not, I'm not sure. But I think Jake just needs to focus really hard, and we lock in on Nate Diaz right now and do what we got to do to make sure he beats Nate Diaz. And then after that, I think then we can make some decisions. But looking past a guy like Nate Diaz would be a mistake.
When Jake looks at his hit list, though, who's left in terms of the MMA world? Is it just Conor McGregor after Nate Diaz?
Yeah, I think Conor, I think KSI, I think there's going to be a couple other names that are boxers as well. But like I said, Jake is only got 8 fights now, and he's slowly he's building into a real fighter, and people are seeing that. And he got a lot of respect with the Tommy fight. I know he's got a lot more in the tank than he showed that night, so I'm really excited for what people are going to see on August 5th.
And then on the other side of boxing, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, we saw what Gervonta Davis did to Ryan Garcia. Is Tank Davis the best 135-pounder in the world, and is the only man who can dethrone him potentially Shakur Stevenson?
I don't know. I think Devin Haney's always got to throw Devin's name in the hat. He's a very talented, big 135-pounder. Obviously Shakur Stevenson is tremendously talented as well, just moving up from 130 to 135. I think he's going to be a little surprised at the size difference when he gets up to 135 with some of those guys. Those guys are very, very. It's a big difference at that weight. Those are two very good guys. So. We'll see what happens. I just feel like, Devin and Shakur are two of the biggest names, and obviously Gervonta Davis had a tremendous performance against Ryan, and he looked fantastic. And Ryan, besides the first round, didn't really have too many moments against Tank, and it didn't surprise me at all. A lot of people asked me, like, hey, what about the reach? What about the power? And I said, look, Tank is very good at changing levels. He's very good at taking your strengths away. He's very good at focusing on like what he's got to do to end the fight, and that's exactly what he did. He caught Ryan, getting reckless and careless in that second round with the left hand, knocked him down, and then he stopped him, and I think it was the 5th round, and with the body shot. So you got to give him full credit. On paper right now, Tank looks like he's the best guy. He's got the knockout ratio. That's something you love to see at 135 pounds, and it's not something you see, or really ever, since guys like Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales with the high knockout ratios at the 135-pound weight class. You don't really see that too often.
He's fired up. He's got the analyst cap on. So, hey, BJ, we love seeing you here. Next time we see you, will it be in Dallas?
Yeah, I'll be in Dallas for sure. I'll be out there fight week, and whatever I got to do, whatever I need to do. Like I said, I'm always going to be part of the team. Whatever Jake needs me to do. So we'll be working. I'm excited to be there, and I'm excited to see a great performance from Jake and what they're working on. I'll probably be just like I said, I'm very excited to see like what he's got, what he's working on now. So
final message for all the BJ Flores fans out there worldwide.
Build, motivate, create opportunities for other people. Go out of your way to serve. Go out of your way to help other people and make other people's lives better. And tune in August 5th to Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, Dallas, Texas. We're coming.
He's the pro. I'm the Schmo poolside. We're out.